Are you ready to have fun? Fun in the sun?
Are you ready to build positive friendships?
Are you ready to strengthen your relationship? Well, if you say yes, then join us on the Real Relationship Cruise, February 11th through the 18th, 2024, as we cruise with purpose on the Norwegian Cruise Line Bliss.
Hi, I'm Janice Edwards. Coming up on Janice Edwards TV, Bay Area Vista, we're talking about love and travel. You'll meet members of the Real Relationship Cruise team, and you'll find out why couples are looking forward to bliss as we prepare for Real Relationship Cruise number 2. That's all coming up next. Join us.
Janice Edwards, it's showtime. It's time to Janice Edwards, it's showtime. It's time to Janice Edwards, it's showtime. It's showtime. Your time to shine.
Ahoy, mates, and welcome to Janice Edwards TV, Bay Area Vista. So glad that you're joining us here today. Imagine being on a cruise with your sweetheart, your spouse, and not only having great fun and seeing great sights, but returning home with great insights that help you deepen your connection. Well, that's what the Real Relationships Cruise is all about. And today we're going to meet Tanya and Michael Scott, who are newlyweds and are going to share why they're going to be on the cruise. And also, our first guest today is someone who's been a guest many times throughout our 21 years on the air, Marlon Smith. He's a world-renowned motivational speaker. He is an author. He's a business coach, and he's a dear friend. We're glad to have him back with us today. And here's a little bit of Marlon in action.
425 young people, 46 countries are here, all over the world. Global Youth Leadership Summit 2021. These next 4 days will transform your life. Once you stand in the greatness that's within you, life takes on new meaning. Today is all about resourceful states. Are you a leader right now? Are you a giver? Are you making a difference for others?
I'm starting my own business. I'm 16, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to retire by the time I'm 30.
What? Give her a round of applause, y'all.
I'm trying to bring innovation as early as I can. So in my school right now, I actually started a school newspaper.
Give Harrison some love, y'all.
I donate books every single summer and sometimes in the winter to students who unfortunately can't get books themselves. The best feeling in the world to see a smile on their face. Sometimes they even cry. I mean, it's amazing. It really is amazing.
Wow, give Marriott some love, y'all. That is powerful. I'm here to tell you, playing in the comfort zone, your dreams, your goals are always out there. And for you to get from today, for you to get from where you are right now, you got to step outside your comfort zone into your fears. GYLS is laying the foundation for transformation. There's greatness within you. I don't just think this, I know this.
Yes, there is greatness within you, and it is great to have Marlon Smith with us again. Marlon, welcome back. Good to see you. As we saw in your clip, you are always motivating people. You tell them to level up. And you know what, Marlon, ever since I've known you, you have always been focused on living a life with purpose and intention. Now, you are one of the founders of the Real Relationship Cruise. So tell me, what inspired you to create this great event?
Well, thank you, Janice. And I got to say, it's really exciting because when you think about it, relationships are the spice of life. I mean, and to be honest with you, I mean, it can be really phenomenal or it can be somewhat challenging. And so, some people say, people come into your life for a reason or a season or even treason. Okay. And so,
Watch out. That's some real talk there about real relationships, Marlon.
Exactly. And so we know that, it's not easy. And so one of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to say, hey, let's bring friends and friends of friends together and really talk about this because here's what we know. We know that some relationships are thriving. I mean, it's almost like they're having a new honeymoon, 10, 20, 30 years in, where other relationships are suffering. And so what is the difference? And we believe success leaves footprints. And so Real Relationship Cruise, a few of us got together and said, hey, let's do this. Let's, number one, vacation with purpose. Oh my goodness, right? I mean, go to some exciting ports, getting your grub on. I like to eat, okay? And I mean,
Hello,
and what,
hello. Yes, cruise food.
yeah,
Yummy, yummy. Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly. And so, with that, that's what we did. And again, friends and friends of friends coming together and learning, fun in the sun. But so while we're at sea, we had some seminars, men only, women only, couples. We have, I mean, it's phenomenal. And it's been so engaging that we said, you know what, we need to continue this, especially coming out of COVID. There were a lot of challenges.
Absolutely. And there's so many people who are doing cruises now. And so you mentioned the workshops, the men in certain workshops, the women in others. And what are some of the things that were takeaways that the people who attended the first one mentioned to you?
Well, I think one thing in particular is people realize it's an inner game. We can, as point the finger and we can blame our spouse or our significant, partner, but there's three fingers pointing at you when you point to somebody else. And so, really looking from within, right? Because we all have challenges. We've all had situations. We've all had some issues from the past. And sometimes we're carrying some of that baggage into our current relationship. And so one of the things that we found out is that people really grew and really did some self-reflecting and said, okay, what am I bringing to this relationship? And how can I be better? And so that's why I'm really excited for that we're coming back again. And what's really exciting is that it's real talk. Now everything's, and there's not like we lock the door. But I mean, basically people are sharing and they're really having a good time. Yeah.
Yes. And it's so true. And one of the couples that went on the first one are just such a lovely couple. That's Siobhan and Isaac Dobson. And they shared that at the time that they went on the cruise, they were dating and really just trying to decide whether they were going to take their relationship to the next level. Well, now they've been married for 10 years, have 4 kids, and we're going to hear a little bit about what they had to say about that Real Relationship Cruise.
Hello, so my name is Isaac,
And I'm Saban.
and we're the Dobson family, and we took the Real Relationship Cruise about 11 years ago, and we've been married for 10 years,
Yeah.
and it's going strong. So
Yes. 4 kids, baby number 4 over here.
4 kids later, happily married. If you want to have a great relationship, we recommend the Real Relationship Cruise.
Highly recommended. Yes, please go. We can't wait to go again ourselves.
This starts Super Bowl Sunday. It goes through Valentine's Day. It's just the perfect time for couples to come together. And it's just a great adventure. I have to say, I'm proud to be part of the planning team you invited this time, working with the group, a good group of people, vacationing together. You have long-time married couples who are going to be there. You have newlyweds. It's really awesome.
It is. It really is. And we're very blessed because again, it's just, good friends coming together and saying, hey, let's, have again, vacation with purpose, but also let's enjoy each other and let's learn and grow.
Siobhan and Isaac are such an incredible couple. And speaking of incredible couples, we have Michael and Tanya Scott with us. They are newlyweds, and actually Tanya and Siobhan are related. So it's perfect timing as we're talking about real relationships. So welcome to you both. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Oh, our pleasure. So we've been talking about the idea of how Marlon and his team that I'm glad to be a planning part of created this. And Tanya, you were on the first cruise. So tell us a little bit about that experience. And you know what? Before you do that, I do want to back up and say that you are an internationally renowned business coach, as well as a bungee jumper, skydiver, and happily newlywed. And Michael, I know you retired from the oil industry, you train canines, and you like fine wine, good food, and good company. So everything that the cruise is going to offer. And I know you both are also experienced cruisers. So having given that background, now, Tanya, tell me, you were on the first cruise as a single. So what was that cruise like? And now what are you looking forward to as a newlywed?
Well, that cruise was created a while ago before we even started it because we wanted to give a program or have an experience with married couples and having couples have great tools on staying together, right? And through the course of life, you know how it goes, is I was going through a divorce, which is like, what? Unheard of, because we were the ideal couple, if you will. So this cruise was really built on providing couples tools to really go deep and understand the ups and downs of the relationship. And so it was perfect for me because I felt it was my mission, it still is my mission, to help couples and people to realize the importance of communication between yourself and with others as well, and understanding rules, male and female rules, etc. And so with this cruise, the first cruise did, we brought in speakers, you know, who were expert in those areas, and and the results speak for itself, to be honest. Many couples came there. I was single. I'm not single now. I'm married, actually. February 1st, we got married. And
Congratulations, newlyweds. You have that newlywed glow.
yeah. And so, but back then it was just me moving through the storm, right? And helping other people prevent going through the storm, or at least give them tools to help them navigate the storm and not have to end up, you know, divorced. So that's really it. And so on the cruise itself, I healed. That it was really a healing exercise. I gave myself permission. The event that we created for couples or for people, period, gave us permission to just be with other people that get it, that are going through the same thing. And you know how you are in the world. It's like nobody knows. It's kind of a secret. You're going through trouble because you don't want to bother other people. But everybody has something. So Bruce was just a healing source for me. And look at us now. So.
And look at you now. And as Marlon said, it's an inner game. And Michael, I understand that this love story between the two of you began when you were 14 years old.
Well, I guess that's when our journey somewhat started, but not in a romantic path, of course, not at that age. And just as an acquaintance, I met the family at an amusement park. Tanya didn't happen to be there. I actually engaged the family more, and we became friends. And to the extent I felt comfortable introducing Tanya to another one of my friends, and then at that time they dated throughout high school. Along that time, I was one of the probably amongst a group of kids where divorce and separations were prevalent. So I was, shortly after that, I was shipped off to California to be raised by my father, because of course it was, you know, at that age where a son needed his father. So, and that was sort of the last time that the contact was broken at that point. And then I believe our paths crossed once in college in Kansas, Missouri, as a matter of fact. And after that, 50 years later or somewhere there, here we are.
Wow, I love it. So Tanya, want to
Yes.
hear a little bit more about this from your perspective. Now, when you knew each other in a friendly way back then, so how did this become the great romance that it is now and the great marriage?
Unbeknownst to me. So here are the things. I have great faith, and God is something amazing. I'm going to say right now, who would have thunk it? Years later, I help couples. I help people get in relationships, stay in relationship, and all that stuff. But for me, I'm good. I'm single for 12 something years, traveling the world, having just the time of my life. And a friend of us, our childhood friend, introduced us again and said, "Hey, let's get together and on a Zoom."
Let me clarify.
Oh no.
Not a childhood
Oh
friend
yeah.
that I introduced, someone who was sort of in one of the mix, one of a group of young men, now old men, that grew up on the same block.
So the story goes, just so you know. So when you pay attention and you stop and you go, there's something happening, even though you go, reluctantly. And this is the deal. So we started talking. We were the only one talking on Zoom calls. Nobody else joined us. Kind of strange in itself, number one. And number two, I get to Atlanta to visit him, and he's my buddy, and I'm lining up. It's great. I have some friends that he can meet. He's just awesome, awesome guy, and no reason why he's, because I'm in the matchmaking business, relative, right? And one day he just said, "I'm not interested in anybody else but you." I'm like, "What? Shocker." This is what I mean. So, the profile, oh, he's got to be this, he's got to do that, he's got blah, blah, blah. All that went out the window.
Oh, your
Because,
list. You had a list.
hmm?
You had a list, it sounds like.
Oh, who doesn't have a list? I mean,
Okay.
oh, yeah, he didn't have a list.
He just knew he wanted you.
But in any event, so, I mean, the romance was pretty remarkable. And we're still going through it. We're still pinching ourselves because, our life now is not like it was only a year ago. In February, we connected, February 1st. And we got married a year later on February 1st.
Wow. When you know, you know. And it sounds like, too, from what you both have said, that you were also doing some inner work so that because you've both been through divorce, and when you connected and you knew, that has made it easier. Some of these same tools we're talking about on the Real Relationship Cruise are what you've applied to your lives.
No question.
Oh, that's great. And I know you've been to Fiji, and the wedding was a destination wedding.
Well, interesting because I'm such a socialite. We decided, well, we don't need all of that. Let's just have he and I and God and the Fijians, who are just lovely. And that's who was there. But before that, we did party before with our family and friends and so forth. And that was, but yeah, it was just a very unique, quiet, introspective wedding, and blessed to be part of that.
In addition to that, I think we strayed from tradition in a sense, where that we've both been through marriages, and of course, all of our friends have, I'm sure, been through lots of other marriages. So, and at this stage, and with all that's been going on in the world, to try to get everyone together for that our occasion seemed somewhat selfish. So we try to keep the spirit and embrace everyone by having and also be different, have a pre-wedding party. And then in that way we could sail off or fly off, I guess you would call it, into the sunset and enjoy our moment, just the two of us.
Yes.
Very nice. And Marlon's just grinning because Marlon, you and Tanya have known each other for years. Tell me a little bit about how long you've been friends, and now to see her in this happy space. I see you just beaming. What does it mean for you to see this?
Oh, I'm just excited. I mean, Tanya is my sister, and we actually met at an event over 20 years ago. And you just figure how fast time flies. And, even for the viewers, think about, again, Real Relationship Cruise is just friends and friends of friends coming together. And that to me is what, as Tanya said, sometimes in life, we're going through this life and we don't realize that, we think it's just my problem or, the relationship problem. But truth of the matter is, we have more things in common than differences. And I love the Real Relationship Cruise because, again, people are able just to be transparent and learn, as Tanya said, learn some tools, learn some strategies for how, first and foremost, you can be better yourself and then also enhance your relationship. So to me, it's just exciting. It really is when you think about it, because again, iron sharpens iron. And we all have stuff that has happened in the past. We all do. But the beautiful thing is when you can just say to yourself, you know what? Life doesn't happen to me. Life happens for me. And when you can hear other people's testimonies and other people's journeys, you get inspired. And that's what Real Relationship Cruise is all about.
It's so true. It's like on the promo that you and I created where I said, I'll have what they're having, because it does. It
Right.
inspires us. And Tanya and Michael, I want to ask you both. So Michael, I'll start with you. What do you love most about Tanya? Now, we only have a few minutes on the show, so I know you could probably go on and on, but try to give us some of the high points.
I think I would start with how genuine she is, and that when I speak to her, at least, I feel a sense of comfort, and it's, I guess, one of the things that brought us together. I don't know. I'm sort of new at a lot of the emotional things, because I guess I've sort of had distance my way from some of that, but she brought some of that back. And where, I guess your spirits or whatever, or something in that realm seemed to just glisten. And when we were close, it felt it felt good, and unlike I had felt before. And I guess when I think about her, she just makes me feel more complete than I've ever felt before. So that's what I love about her.
That is so beautiful. And one of the things that you said too, is that you've never felt this before. And I think that's what you're talking about, Marlon, is that there are new ways to relate. Sometimes in love relationships, there can be a loneliness because people are disappointed and they don't even want to tell their partner, well, this is what I need or this is what I feel. And when you can discover that together, you can have a greater love than ever before with the tools and prayer and faith and everything that we're talking about here, it's so inspiring. So, Tanya, now your turn. What are some of the things you love about your hubby?
It's one word. Well, it's two, but it's the identity. He is a true cowboy, through and through. And I mean it from the depths. He's like, what? Yes. I mean, he's a man's man. He's gentle. He stands up. He helps. He encourages. And he works. He can work it. You know what I mean? And and for me, because I was such an alpha woman, and some of you listeners know what I'm talking about. Like, it's my way or the highway, and we boss everybody around. As an alpha personality and behavior, that's not really my essence. He was like, not today, right? So, and not today in a way that was loving and caring and not demeaning, right? So 'cause sometimes in relationships, when we're communicating, we can be demeaning to each other. We can, and not even realizing, and it's a defensive mechanism. And this too is one of the tools that we'll be, discovering, at this event, right? But for him, he's through, genuine through and through. Yeah. So it's cowboy coming, just so you know, and the boots, just so you know, because we live in Texas now, in sunny.
And you have a lot of chickens too, right? All sorts of animals, right?
Yeah.
But that one of the things that I love that you're saying is that when you meet your mate, your match, your soulmate, there's something within you that recognizes that, and it shifts. It's those things that I know as a woman, meeting that man who inspires that is something that makes you go, whoa. this is what everybody's been talking about, right? And I didn't understand it before. And so that is something that is so inspirational. Now, Tanya, you say you are an expert cruiser. So what are some of the things that people need to keep in mind to have the best cruise experience as they're getting ready to sign up for this?
Come with the spirit of wonderment. Come with the spirit of awe, yay, excitement, not knowing. Because you're entering into a world that everything is designed, has a structure, but there's an enormous amount of freedom. And it's wild because your food is all taken care of, your housekeeping is taken care of. It's a mecca. And at first you just don't know. It's like, oh, they're taking care of me. You want to not expect, I don't care for that word, but you want to know that you will be taken care of. And with us as planners and organizers, and we know how to do an event, just so you know, we know how to do an event. You won't have to do anything except for be and experience and ride that roller coaster. That's really it. That's what you can expect. It's an honest and just go, wow. Yeah, when you leave, you just go, what happened? And it's going to take you a moment. After the cruise, it's going to take you a moment to get on your land legs.
Right. And especially because we're aboard Bliss, and I love that name. It's true bliss in that way. And what you were saying is something that we also are going to have events leading up to that for the couples who sign up so that they can connect. And Marlon, this is something that I know you're very excited about because as we saw you in action at the Tony Robbins clip that I showed before we started our segment, you love to get people pumped up, fired up, and ready to have a good time together and to take away a meaningful experience.
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, here's the thing, you know, when it's all said and done, it's going to be your treasured memories and your loving relationships. I mean, think about that. When you're 95 years young, you look back on your life, that's going to be the essence. And I think what we're striving to do is be it in the now, right? As Tanya said, I mean, the Bliss cruise ship, as you mentioned, Janice, I mean, phenomenal. I mean, top of the line. These ports that we're going to, you know, my goodness, Mexican Riviera is going to be outstanding. And so, you know, why not? Why not now? You know, some people talk about their bucket list and putting it off, but as we all know, you know, why procrastinate? So why not come together with a circle of friends and friends of friends, great positive people, and learn while also having great fellowship and fun in the sun. And like I said, it's really a vacation with purpose. And that's what's so exciting.
I love it. Well, I want to thank you all. It's great to connect here and to share what we're looking forward to. And as you see, realrelationshipcruise.com, the information is there on the screen. We're going to close out the show with more of our promo that gives you more of the details. But right now, I just want to say thank you all for being here. Again, congratulations, newlyweds. You make love look good, and we're excited for it. So thank you all, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate you, and thank you for all that you do to make our world a better place. I'm Janice Edwards. Please join us again next time. We look forward to seeing you then.
Everybody, Real Relationship Cruise.